Note that a negative times a negative is positive. Thus, our negatives will cancel in pairs. So a negative number to an even power will end up giving you a positive value because every negative had a pair to cancel out with. And a negative number to an odd power will be negative because you have all these numbers canceling out in pairs, and then you're left with one negative at the end that doesn't have any pair to cancel out with. So to see this in action, let's look at negative 3x squared squared. So this really means negative 3x squared times negative 3x squared. Well, we have a negative times a negative, so we already know that our final answer is going to be positive. And when we combine the 3 and the 3, that gives us 9. And when we combine the x squared and the x squared, we're going to get x to the 4th. So see how we followed the rule up here, where the exponent applied to each piece. So we got negative 3 squared, which is 9, and x squared squared, which is x to the 4th. And since we had an even-powered exponent, all the negatives had a pair to cancel out with, and we end up with a positive value. Likewise, if we have negative 3x squared cubed, then this is negative 3x squared times negative 3x squared times negative 3x squared. Well, when we multiply these first two numbers together, we're going to get a positive because we have two negatives being multiplied together. And then we're going to multiply by this last negative. So a positive times a negative will then leave us with our final answer being negative. And 3 times 3 times 3 is going to be 27. And x squared cubed, x squared times x squared times x squared, is going to be x to the 6th. If we raise a negative value to an even exponent, we end up with a positive value. If we raise a negative value to an odd exponent, we end up with a negative value.